Hey, I'm Red.
I'm Honey Badger.
And I'm Taco.
And we're from the Texas Night Stalkers paintball team. And we're here to give you guys a review of $300 markers that are mechanical. We have great markers to show you guys today. Big shout out to Pro Edge Paintball. They supplied us not only with the markers that we have back here to show you guys, but they've also given us some prizes to hand out. So if you like, share, or comment on the video, you will be entered to win one of 3 chances to win a Exalt tank cover and some pods with Pro Edge Paintball stickers in them. All right, those will be totally free. All right, so we have a bunch of markers to go through. We don't want to take too much time. The first one we have is the Spider MR100. All right, this marker right here is a standard stack tube blowback marker. Uses the same internal design as other Spiders have for decades past. Very simple, has a push on off. Safety right there, double finger trigger. All you have to do to operate it is cock it back, put your tank in, and then you can fire. All right, and then once you fire, it's going to recock itself and it'll be semi-automatic.
Okay guys, what you're going to like about this is it's very easy to clean and maintain. This bolt right here, you can just pull this up and this whole thing comes out right there. You can then put your swab right through it and you just clean it out real easy if you get a broken ball in there. It also comes with a stock, if you like such a thing, which can be connected right here. But if you do that, you'll lose the ability to remove that bolt very easily without removing that screw right there first. This gun is very robust. It's tough. You can drop it in the mud, whatever. It'll keep working. But it is very heavy, so that's the drawback for that. Besides that, real good starter marker. Not a whole lot of upgradability, I would say, on this, but it's a real tough gun. One thing you will have to do is it only comes with this guy, barrel plug. No fields allow those anymore, so if you buy this gun, keep in mind you will need to buy a barrel sock.
All right. Now the next marker we have for you guys is the Tippmann TMC. This is a new marker from Tippmann, and it is really neat. It comes in at $200, and it is a AR-15 styled mag fed marker. You do get 20 round mags. Well, they advertise 20. It's really like 19 rounds. Not first strike compatible, but you do get get 2 of these mags as well as a dummy mag. So if you look right here, you can see that these take a feed neck adapter, so if you want to run with a hopper on top, you can run it that way. Same inline blowback system that you find on those Tippmann 98s and Tippmann A5s.
Yeah. What I really like about this gun is that it feels identical to an AR-15, just without the weight of it. It's much lighter, really maneuverable. Great if you're getting into mag fed and want the milsim look and feel. Yeah, just a great marker. Just wish that you could shoot the first strikes out of it.
Yeah. Now here we go. We have the Tippmann A5. This marker is well known in the scenario community. I think all of us have one in our gear bag.
I've got one.
Yep.
Yeah.
Love it. Had it for, I don't know, 7-8 years at least.
I think mine's 10
Maybe
years old.
10 years, yeah.
I don't even know. I found mine in the
going.
garbage and I rebuilt it, and it shoots fine. You just put a little lube in there and cock it back, safety off, and fire. These are also semi-automatic, and these are the backup gun for a lot of players that play scenario paintball like we do. They have this thing in their bag. They can leave it for 6 months, 12 months, 18 months. And when their marker goes down, 5 years. And then when their marker goes down, they can just put it in their gear bag, grab the Tippmann A5, and it's going to shoot like it did day one.
Yeah. And what I really like on this gun is the Cyclone hopper. Let me pop this off real quick. So as you're shooting the gun, you have these little paddles that move and will advance the next ball into your gun, rather than having a hopper that can cause problems.
Yeah, and it's air powered too, not
air powered. Yeah, so you don't have to worry about having fresh batteries. Just it's always ready to shoot. And if you want to upgrade and get some fancy features like an electronic trigger, your able to make that upgrade on this gun, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I think probably that platform is the most upgradable platform, you know, on the market.
Yeah, there's awesome barrels out there for it. Just really, really versatile.
Yeah. Another thing you can get for this marker is that flatline barrel. So that's some old tech. You can have that flatline barrel that'll put backspin on the ball and shoot the ball further. Reduces the speed a bit, but you know, nothing else out there puts the range, you know, on a round ball like the flatline does. So solid marker, must have if you're a scenario player. Have it in your gear bag or have a variant of this kind of gun, and you won't be let down. All right, so next we have the Azide KP3. So this marker was a huge step up from the Azide KP2. This guy comes in, this is a deluxe model. This guy comes in with a regulator, bringing the operating pressure down. It comes with an on-off ASA. All right, so that's going to be better on your tank threads and your tank O-rings. It's got a toolless clamping feed neck. All right, so you don't have to use an Allen key if you need to adjust that hopper or loader or whatever you're using.
If you have to pop it off,
right?
Midfield,
midfield, get to change batteries or whatever you have to do. You can also pull the bolt straight out, just like you can with other Azide markers. So if you need to clear that jam, that is available for you as well. We'll fix that in a little bit.
Yeah.
And it's got dual pump arms too. So that's also really nice. If you see the dual pump arms, that decreases the binding from having to rotate the handle back and forth with your in mid-play. So another nice thing about all Azide markers comes with autococker threads. So if you're looking to upgrade your barrel system, you know, go to a Deadly Winds, go to a Freak Kit, you can do that on this marker, and then when you go on to something else that's more expensive, a little bit nicer, you can translate that barrel system over to your next marker, like a Planet Eclipse or a dime marker. So. All right, Tippmann Cronus. This guy comes in at about $100 and operates just like Tippmann A5. Uses the same internal system, inline blowback, super reliable, never going to let you down. Have to say on these Tippmann guns, I think all the ones featured here are clamshells, and we know what it's like to clean a clamshell.
Pain in the butt.
Pain in the butt. All right, so if you get a break, it's not like the Odin marker or the Spider marker we saw where you can pull the bolt out and clean it. You have to actually remove all these little screws, take the body apart, cut it in half basically, and go in and clean the brake and lube it and do all the things you need to do. It's not difficult, it's just very time consuming and you can't do it on the field.
And luckily you don't have to do that very often because these are so robust, they just keep going and going.
Right, so if you get that break in the field and you've got, you know, still an hour left, 30 minutes left, or 10 minutes left, just keep playing, just keep shooting. Yeah. Maybe swap your barrel, but just keep shooting and, you know, play on. So that is the drawback to these guns. They're also very loud, a lot like the Spider marker is. Rails forever. Here, go ahead.
Yeah. It just already feels almost like a pistol in my hand. It's a really small and compact gun. Very, very light, so just would be a great marker for someone younger and smaller. Yeah, what is pretty cool on this is the hopper actually feeds offside of the main rail, so if you wanted to put like a red dot or something onto your marker, you could actually use it. So yeah, a great entry-level gun.
Yeah, definitely. And it's good for small hands too.
Yeah.
The Azide Chaos 2. This guy comes in as the sequel to the Chaos. It is built just like the Spider markers. It's that stack tube blowback design. All you gotta do is cock it back, put the air in, all right, and it's semi-automatic. You just start firing, bum, 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 bum. Okay, it's a hand cannon. These things are loud, but it does have a clamping feed neck. You gotta use tools, and I don't know. What do you think?
All right, so when I started off in paintball, I was using a Spider, and that's essentially what this thing is. It's been around forever. Very easy to maintain, very easy to use. You know, you don't require a whole lot of thinking about how to break things apart. You've just got a double barrel system or double stack system here. You know, the bolt will come right out. You just pull this pin, the whole bolt will come out. You can clean out through the barrel if you get a break of some kind. This version is nice and relatively lightweight, but you've got a metal body, so it's still really tough. You know, a very robust system to begin with. Unlike the MR100, you can't put a stock on there. You can only run a tank, so it's more set up for your classic paintball style. If you want to call it speedball, whatever. It's not really a woods ball gun, but it'll work just fine for that as well. So just real simple, lightweight, easy to use. Like you said, it's going to be loud. High pressure gun, just like most of these other high pressure guns, they're going to be loud on both ends, the front end and the back end, close to your face. But starter gun, who cares? You can scare some people off with that.
Yeah. Bang, 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 bang. Here I come.
It's a loud gun, but it sounds really cool.
Yeah.
Almost like machine gun sort.
All right. So I'm not going to talk too much because it's not my personal gun, it's his. But this is the GOG Enemy, and this really took the mechanical marker area by storm because it's a mechanical spool valve. So it runs on a lower operating pressure, and for that it's going to be quieter and easier on paint. But I'll let it go to Andrew. This is yours.
Yep. Okay, so unlike these other ones over here, it's maybe not quite as simple, but it still is relatively simple. Your bolt comes right out the back here for easy cleaning and maintenance. It just pops right out, the whole system.
Yeah.
So you can clean right through there. And that's pretty much all the parts right there. Very easy to clean and maintain. Unlike these other ones, this one is a low pressure gun. So it's actually quiet. Just like your high-end markers. If you're a stealthy player and you don't want to give away your position and you don't have a whole lot of cash in your pocket, this is the one you want to go with. It's also extremely lightweight. The body is plastic, not metal, which means it's probably not as tough. If you really drop it or slam it, maybe something could happen, but I doubt you'll ever end up in that situation anyways. Very lightweight and compact. You can really, squeeze up. So you can run this marker just like a high-end gun. Maybe you don't have an electronic trigger. This is you're basically just operating a little valve inside of here. When you pull that trigger, the bolt goes forward, and then when you release the trigger, the bolt comes back again. It's maybe not as tough as some of these other markers, but this has all of the features of your high-end markers without some of the drawbacks of like needing batteries or paying a very high price. Yeah. So this, in my opinion, is a really great either starter gun or a backup gun, even for your experienced player.
Which is what you're using as your backup.
That's right. This is what I use as my backup, and I will exclusively use this gun as well if for rec ball days, and for if we're doing what you call CQB, close range type stuff. Just because it's so small and compact, you can put a little tank on here, and you just can get in really small, and it's hard to get hit when you get small.
Yeah, it's a good marker. Some of the guys at Pro Edge definitely warned against the regulators on these. So I would say if you go for this kind of marker, maybe look at some custom products, regulators and ASAs, and you can more robust. So that was an issue they had with the regulators. But outside of that, it's like you said, this is probably we'll talk at the end about what we think the best guns are for the different price points or the different uses. But if you're looking for a compact, lightweight gun, because you're maybe a compact, lightweight person, where you just like that feel, this is a great performer for the money. So this is my Tipex, TIPX, Tippmann pistol. This is a really unique product that came out a little while ago. This is not a blowback system like found in other Tippmann products. It is a spool valve, and mine is upgraded to the max. I've got Zeta mags. I've got a first strike ready internals. I've got a rifled barrel. I've got a little fill nipple on the back for running high pressure air instead of CO2. But these guns, out of the box, they have a barrel that's about that long, really no further than this cap. They come with 7-round mags, right? So those are going to sit flush with the bottom of the grip, and they run on CO2. So what you got to do is you got to take out this little knob right here, put little CO2 12-gram chambers. You pop one of those in, you tighten that down, and then your first trigger pull will engage the gas, and then you can start shooting. And it gets, I don't know, maybe 2.5 mags, good 2.5 mags on a single 12-gram. But the thing I like about this marker is that it is a very versatile platform. You can get the long-range kit, you can make it first strike ready. You can get these kinds of Zeta mags that carry 10 rounds on one side and flip them over and they're 10 rounds on the other. I've seen guys with body kits and they run them like a carbine. You know, they're just really, really cool markers if you're looking for a solid mag fed marker. Now you have a Tip-X, and you use it for night games. Tell us about the claw of the badger.
Sure, yeah. And my Tip-X isn't really very different from this one. It also has the block on the inside, which allows you to shoot first strike rounds. Also, I believe I have the same barrel or very similar threaded barrel, which spins the first strike rounds for you, making it a little more accurate. Extended mags, all that kind of stuff. Oh, and airline here, which you can attach to a tank for continuous air, so that you don't need to keep switching out your CO2s. I have a love and hate relationship with this marker. It's a lot of fun to use, especially mag-fed games, just in general, a lot of fun to use. As a pistol, purely just out of the box, it's a really good backup. If you're playing mag-fed or you're playing scenario or even just regular old rec ball, and your regular gun has a jam and it's not fixable within a moment's notice, you can carry one of these in a holster or in your vest somehow, and you just draw and you keep going. Of course, you're limited only to how many you've got in the mag, but it's better than nothing. Pain in the rear end is, in order to maintain this thing, you have to remove all of these screws. I think there's 9 of them, if I remember correctly. And then this body splits in half, and you get to the valving and yada yada. Not fun to deal with. And you can easily lose the parts in here. You know, but luckily, because it's a mag fed, you don't shoot a whole lot of rounds, so you really don't have to do that very often. If you get a break inside of it, I've found that it generally clears itself. You don't have to break it apart in order to fix it, so it is very reliable. It's very upgradable. You know, you can see all the upgrades he's done here. Each one of the upgrades isn't so hard to do, putting in the block, putting in the barrel, right, that kind of stuff, putting in this.
This is not a $300 gun anymore.
I mean, this is probably, what, $500?
Yeah, close to $500 in
more.
parts, right.
But personally, when I play MagFed, this is what I go with. The pistol just allows you a lot more maneuverability. You don't lose a whole lot, because you can still have a 20-round mag in here. Yeah, the stock ones or the first strike ready ones that Tippmann makes are 12-rounders. You know, if 12 rounds is not enough for you, then you better go to a rifle. But first strike rounds you can really make count too. Besides that, like I said, love-hate relationship. Very robust, but a pain to maintain.
Yeah. So one of the things, we're a big night vision team, and one of the things that we've done, or one of our guys, Bear, has done, is he puts a laser and he mounts that on his Tip-X. And so he's going out there with first strike rounds. He has his PVS-14 night vision and an infrared laser that nobody can see except through night vision, and he can just point and see where he's shooting. And so that's pretty cool. I've always thought that was really neat to be able to just, you know exactly where you're aiming because your laser is pointing that way. So, you know, the rail is pretty cool, I think, for that regard. I've run a flashlight on this one before at night, so I can go up to somebody and boom, flashlight, you know, surrender, and you know, they give up because, you know, it's a flashlight in their face. So really cool marker, very modular, lots of upgrades, and they're upgrades that really make a difference. You know, a lot of guns you can get upgrades for, like Tippmann A5, a lot of upgrades for them, but they don't really do a whole lot. Tipex is one of those platforms where you can get a lot of upgrades that actually do increase the performance of the gun, and so that's really cool. So, I think that is it.
Let's talk about this guy.
Oh
For a
yeah,
moment.
go ahead.
Yeah, sure. All right. So, if you're going to buy one of these markers, except for the Tippmann A5, you're going to need a hopper, right? So most of these cheap hoppers that you buy, they're about, I don't know, $10 or so.
Yeah.
They are real simple. They're just, what you see is what you get. The body here, it drops down. The problem with that is when you shoot fast, all those little balls in there, they bunch up around this area. And then you end up having to shake your marker in order to get them to go
Shake
through.
and shoot. Yeah, that's the
Shake and shoot, right.
Right.
Shake and bake, or whatever you want to call it. You can buy a relatively expensive or electronic hopper, which solves that problem. But if you're if you're buying one of these guns, I'm gonna guess that you are probably trying to save the dinero, and the hopper that you'll end up buying is going to be nearly as expensive as one of these markers here. So your price doubles. This guy right here, I think it's $20.
Yeah, 15, 20 bucks.
15, 20
Yeah,
bucks
somewhere around there.
approximately. This is the Primo
From Proto from Die.
right, from Die. And it's a little bit different. Up to 9 balls a second, it will continuously feed. No batteries required. Like we said, only about $20 or less. It has a little shelf in here. It does a little magic, so you don't have to shake and bake this one. And I highly suggest that if you're going to buy one of these markers here, you get this guy and not your cheap regular
Hopper that came in
right.
the value pack with the CO2 tank
Exactly,
and all the other
right.
stuff. Yeah, yeah.
So, an extra $5 invest, you'll be a lot happier.
I think that's it.
Let's talk about what our personal choices are and why.
Okay. Let's say I come in and I want a mag-fed gun. I'm looking for a good mag-fed gun, and I don't want to spend a lot of money. What would you say?
I think I'm gonna go with the pistol.
You going with the pistol?
The Tipex, yeah. Because I think I get almost as many rounds as I do on the rifle, but it's much more compact. I'd probably want to run a remote line on it, just so I don't have to keep switching out the CO2 tanks. Just the simplicity, but also real compact.
Yeah, what do you think?
Yeah, mag-fed, it comes down to your playing style, really. If you like the feel of having a rifle, that TMC is a pretty good choice. It's very inexpensive to purchase. There's plenty of competitions out to this. Some which are First Strike compatible. So if you want that, this isn't your choice. But if you like the feel of very milsim, perhaps you're from the military or you just like it, whatever. Everybody thinks this is pretty cool. It looks like an AR-15, right? And you're on a budget, go with this guy. He like he's got the heft of 5-6 pounds of a real AR-15. My personal style, I'm with Alfred. I go with the pistol. I like being stealthy and fitting through tight spaces and all that kind of stuff. So for my personal choice also would be the T-Pex.
I think for me it's the Tipex. I got out of mag-fed. I didn't want anything to do with it because I didn't like the way the balls fed or didn't feed properly. And then I got back into it with the Tipex, and it's a good marker. It's a modular platform. There's so many things you can do to it to make it your own. And I've been really impressed with this guy right here. So for me, it's the Tipex. I like being able to shoot first strikes. For me, that's one of the biggest selling points. Not the biggest selling point of shooting a mag-fed gun are first strike rounds. Because they are more accurate and they shoot further than your traditional paintball. So, for me, it's a Tipex.
Yeah. And mags on the Tipex aren't that bad. I think they're $20 a piece. I would say.
Yeah, it depends on which magazine
you can get a 12 rounder. The Zetas, how much does Zetas go
Zetas
for?
are 25 a piece. So
25.
Start to get a little pricey.
So Zetas are a little pricey,
but they're higher capacity too.
The 12 rounders are about 10 rounds a piece, $20 a piece. And the 7 rounders are pretty cheap. I think they're maybe $10 or $15 a piece or so. Yeah. So if you're getting in mag-fed, that's a good way to go. Now, if you're not into the mag-fed thing, or you're in a scenario ball, or you're just in a rec ball, we've got, all these guys are a good way to start. If you are really low on cash, this guy's really cheap. About $100, right?
Yeah, about $100.
So this guy, the Cronus, he's only about $100, and it's just going to go and go and go. Or let's say maybe you've got some kids, and I don't know, you got a couple sons or something like that, and you don't want to break the bank to bring them to play paintball. This is a really easy way to get into paintball.
But you have to invest in a loader too, so don't forget about that.
Sure, and again,
right,
go with this
$20.
this one right here, and you're in business for about 120, right out of the box.
Right.
Now, if you've got a little more money, you've got my two choices would be either this guy, which is my personal choice. I think I got him for about 300. Say the price going right now.
No, it's less than that.
It's less.
Yeah, it's less
okay.
than that.
So we're even less than 300. It will have the performance of a much higher priced marker. Very small and compact. So if you're getting competitive, maybe you're like in the in between stage. You've played a little paintball before and you're ready to move up. This is a good step up, in my opinion. If you want one marker and you just want it to work forever, and you don't want to mess with it for very long, that's where this guy comes in.
Yep.
The Tippmann A5. This guy just goes and goes and goes and goes, right? I mean, I had one that I had a leak or something, and after it sat in the in the garage in 100-degree weather for years, and I broke it apart. I changed the O-rings, put it back in. I played with it the next day. It was maybe even the same day. I can't remember, but basically they just go. And the beauty of it again is that feed system right there. That guy, he's very easy on paint. You very rarely break any paint, even though this is a very robust, hard kicking gun. It just pushes through whatever you want to feed it.
Yeah. For me, I've gone back and forth. I have one of these in my gear bag, and I thought to myself, man, a Goggin would be really cool, but I've already got a Tippmann A5. And that's what I always come back to is I've already got an A5. And I like the little things you can put on. You can put a stock on this guy. I actually ran this with a night vision scope for a little while, and it worked. It worked.
Yeah.
It happened. I mean, I had an offset like 40 round tack cap, in the Cyclone feed, and I had a scope, and I was shooting dudes at night. And I mean, there's just so much I could do with this. I'm not going back to any other semi-automatic mechanical gun. This is the one for me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Agreed. I like not having to worry about, is this going to fire? Just, I know it will. The hopper's always going to feed. I don't have to worry about either running out of batteries or having to shake it. Just, you pick up and shoot.
Alfred has played paintball for 10 plus 15 years. I don't know how long exactly.
He's
years.
Going on 10 years. And he still runs this one.
Still runs.
Well, no, I upgraded, I think, last year.
To the
Oh,
Phenom,
okay,
to the
you did
Phenom.
go to the
Yeah,
Phenom,
XM.
yeah, which
9
is
out of my 10
very
years
similar to
were
this one as
with
well.
this guy,
He,
yeah.
he can move that far.
But again, I chose the Tippmann Phenom because it has the Cyclone hopper. I love not having to worry about it.
Yeah.
But that's my style. That's my preference. Yeah.
I think it's a great product.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And then if you're looking for a pump gun, you might find some old stock. It looks really nice. You might find some old stock Hammer 7 markers. Don't buy those unless you're going to modify it and make a bolt action shotgun mod or something. Get the KP3. Save up your pennies. Get the KP3. Or there are other options out there. If you want to do like an auto cocker with the pump kit and all that kind of stuff, you can do that too. But if you're looking for brand new, which is what we're talking about, this is the first good pump gun. Like when it comes to price. So as you're going up the price, this is the first good pump gun on the market. Then you can look at the Empire Sniper or the Bob Long, whatever it is, and go from there. But this is a solid gun. The dual pump arms are very nice. No auto trigger, so you can't hold it down and just like bang, 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 bang like this. You're gonna have to pump, fire. But you get that on-off ASA, you get that clamping feed neck, and it just looks awesome. I mean, this is like
does.
this is the gun that you get like when you in Call of Duty when you like, get 50 headshots or whatever.
The upgrade, yeah.
Right, the upgrade, or you have to
It
buy
reminds
it
me
from
of the 007 video game, the Golden Pistol.
Yeah. So they have some pretty neat like gold accented stuff like that. So yeah, KP3 was the best pump for the money when you're looking at pumps for below $300. So that's it. That's what we've got today. We have again prizes for you guys. Like, share, comment below, and you can get a chance to win some pods.
Tank cover.
All right, tank covers. All right,
Free
all the
stickers.
pods.
Everybody loves free stickers.
Yeah. Make you think that you're sponsored.
Yep.
All right,
Put it
stickers
over
on all your
box.
things. Right. All right, that's it. I'm Red,
Honey Badger.
And taco.
and this is Texas Night Stalkers Paintball.